while we wait for the questions to come in through the chat, Vanni, just let us know how you've been feeling and an update from yourself.
I'm good. I've been so I tested positive last week, a week ago, 6 days ago, and luckily I had only mild symptoms. So a couple of days of headache and sore throat and feeling very congested, and then I stayed home for 5 days. So boring, but also good sometimes to stay home for 5 days. So it's no, it's a good thing that touching wood in the week before after my testing, no one in the squad has been tested positive. So it's also a good thing that maybe we caught my positivity, and then I didn't spread the thing into the team. So that would have been a problem for sure.
All right, we'll get into it with JJ.
You're always positive, Vanni. That's what we love about you. You're positive in every way.
Yeah. Better to be optimistic and wrong than pessimistic and right, JJ.
Yes, it's true. So you guys headed to San Diego in a couple days. I'm assuming you're going to cut down your squad for the traveling. Are there any players who have surprised that you maybe didn't think would be joining you in San Diego, but have earned a spot through training camp thus far?
Well, yes, some of them will bring some academy kids that they did very well in these first 2 weeks, and we're gonna bring also one draft pick, and the other guys that we're not gonna bring. It's not that we're gonna cut them. They're gonna stay and train with our next pro team, because I actually think that it's much better to be a protagonist with the second team and play games, and then being on the side for most of the tactical part in San Diego. I don't want to have. I don't like to have like 35 players. I always said that I don't like very big roster, because I like to concentrate my attention to 20, 22 players, so everyone has really a chance to show me that maybe he can play and he can be there. So I'm very happy that we have the next pro now. So it allows us also to have on some player that we have. We don't know. Okay, let's see with them what they do, and then maybe they can join back the team when we come back from San Diego.
Right, so I'm assuming that's Simon that's making the trip, the draft pick?
No, it's Giovanni Aguilar. That's a surprise.
Oh, that is a surprise. All right, I like it. And what's your general thoughts on where you are in terms of camp, and in terms of the tactical tweaks that you're trying to implement this year, and building your roster? Where do you feel comfortable with where you're at so far?
Well, we worked a lot. The first 2 weeks of camps are always, I would say, volume in everything. Volume in training, so they have to do the extra run, they have to do a lot of gyms because they have to go in shape, and also volume in information that we give to the players. So there's a lot of stop and explaining to the players, stop and trying to do something different, to try to be very specific on what we want them tactically, because we all know how it works during the season. As soon as the season starts, you don't have too much time to train. So I'm happy. The guys seem receptive. Of course, they still miss that intensity. They still miss that I would say bite. But yeah, that's actually the reason why in San Diego we're gonna have 4 games in 11 days, to have game fitness, to have a lot of game fitness, and to really bring intensity to the training. I firmly believe that without brain, without knowing not what to do, the heart and the legs doesn't work. So even if you are very courageous and very fit, if you don't know what to do, it's hard. So tactics comes first, and so I'm happy. Of course, I think the roster is very good. But at the same time, I know that the club is working to bring not too much, but maybe 1/2 addition to the roster to try to improve in some specific position. One thing that I can say for sure, that we'll bring a goalkeeper, because at the moment we only have Thomas, so we need to have another goalkeeper. And maybe I know that the club is working on maybe doing something in the midfield too.
Excellent. Thanks, Vanni.
Yeah, welcome.
Thanks, JJ. We'll go to Michael.
Hey, Vanni, how you doing this morning?
Very good. Thank you, Michael. How about you?
I'm very good. Well, kind of. I've hurt my back, but we won't go into that. You mentioned there about the MLS Next Pro team. It was just announced a little bit of the roster makeup, how you can have up to 24 senior professionals and 11 amateurs on it. How do you envisage that squad playing out for you this season? Do you see it?
Oh, sorry. Go.
I was going to say, do you see it filling out with a lot of just the guys that you already know, or are you going to use it as a chance to bring guys in that you want to have a look at?
Well, no, I would say both. It's going to be mostly, for me, a place where our best guys of the academy go there and play, because that's, for me, the entire reason of that team, to see and to give a platform for the very interesting players that are young and good, but maybe they are not good enough at the moment to trust them in MLS to see if they can compete at good level. And now maybe you can have the choice to bring them in the first team is going to be much more educated instead of just a guess. So I see that, but I also see as a team where maybe in some specific situation we can use that team to put game fitness to players that have been out for some times. They come back from an injury. Give you an example. When Caio will join us back, I think that I will use a little bit the next pro to have him have game fitness and be back with us, because if not, it's going to be really hard for someone to get back and compete for a spot in the first team.
I was going to ask about that as well, because the press release about it didn't really mention too much about like movement between the MLS team and this team. So if someone's got an MLS contract, they can easily go and play for the other team.
I have to be honest, that's a question for the club in terms of rules and everything. But I think that you can do like you were doing in the old USL day, that you can do that short loan for a week or something to the other team and then bring him back.
Awesome. That's great. Thanks so much, Vanni.
No problem. Take care.
Thank you, Michael. We'll go to Jay.
Vanni, it's nice to see you. Question, because you've got basically the same roster you had last year, how does the squad look? Does it look more polished to you right now?
I think that it helped a lot, and we can focus more on the specifics than giving everything to everyone like we did when I came in last year, that we changed completely the way of playing and we changed the system. So what we're trying to do is some little tweaks, and that allows us to, I would say, be more specific from an early stage that I couldn't have been if the team was completely different than last year.
Can I also ask you about Pedro Yete?
Yeah. So Pedro is doing actually really, really well. Again, it was a kind of a question mark at the beginning of the season because we bought him last year, but we never saw him. He trained with us like 2 weeks. So I was very curious, and I think that he's going to be a player that is going to help us. He needs to work a lot, of course, but he has the right mentality. He's fast. He's good. He's good technically. He is very receptive on what we're telling him tactically. So he's going to be in the mix in the midfield position as a number 8, I would say, to help the team during the season.
Thanks, Jake. We'll go to Colin.
Good morning, Vanni. How are you?
Good, Colin. How are you?
Good, yeah. Thank you. Enjoy pre-season.
Yeah. You know, it's a nice period where you trying to mold the, you know how it works, your ideas on the team, and also you have some nice surprise young kid that they surprise you. So it's a good. I'm happy also that we start playing games. To be honest, that's what we do. But it was good so far.
Yeah, it kind of leads me into my first question, Vanni. In the ideal world, by the end of would you know right now what your starting lineup would be come day one, or is the door totally wide open for every player in the squad?
Well, it's wide open because, as I said a lot of times, I don't fully believe in starting lineup. I believe that the best way for a soccer team to function is to have at least 17, 18 starters that they really compete every week on spot. And I think that we have it at the moment. We have it, those core of 16, 17, 18 players that allow everyone of not being sure of the spot, but everyone can see the spot there and be ready to play. So I would love to do the same thing that I did last year, to change the lineup, not the way of play, not the system, to keep it consistent, but to change the lineup often, because it means that every week in training something is showing that he can play. I think that if you play always the same 11 in the long period, especially in a competition with MLS, it's something that is going to be counterproductive for the way that I see football. So I actually say that it's wide open for a lot of position at the moment.
Yeah. Were you pleased with the level of fitness for the players when they arrived, Vanni?
I think that most of the players, they arrived very fit. The week that before preseason, that there was the voluntary training that they could have done with the staff, not with me because of the rule, but we had like 15, 16 guys that show up a week before and did it. We had some problem with some guys, but because how the world it is now, some guys that were blocked by the fact that they tested positive when they were there and they couldn't arrive the first day. So some of the guys arrived like after 5 or 6 days, and they're catching up. But I would say 70-80% of the players, they arrive in a good fitness, and it's also a good segue of what you said before, because especially in the first games of the season, fitness will play a bigger role. So I will always play the guy who are going to be 100% ready. So even if you're a big player but you're not ready February 26, you're not going to play that game.
Yeah, great. Last one for me, Vanni, is you mentioned the goalkeeping situation. Is the goalkeeper that the Whitecaps are looking to bring in, is he going to be a recognised number one, or again is that door wide open for Thomas and this keeper to compete?
No, we are looking for a guy that is gonna compete with Thomas, not a guy that is gonna be the number one and Thomas gonna be relegated to number two. And the guy who's gonna come in, he knows that Thomas has been here for 3 years, so we know him. So it's like a Formula One race. So when the guy is gonna come in, he's gonna be here and Thomas here, and then they will compete through the season to show that who's gonna be the first one at the end. And hopefully, and I say with the sad in my heart, they're going to be not Ferrari, but they're going to be Mercedes both, because the Formula One Ferrari has been terrible in the last couple of years.
Let's Fantastic. Thank you, Vanni. Best of luck in the remainder of the season.
Thank you.
Thanks, Colin. We'll go to Trevor. Trevor, see your hand up.
There we go. I'm not sure if this has been asked already or not. I came in a little bit late, but has the fact that you've had to, be in COVID protocols here the last little while, does that hurt your preparation at all? Set you back at all by not being out on the field?
Well, of course, a little. But I want to say that we were actually discussing with the other member of the staff today. I think I was able to function like 60% of my function with the team, because I did all the training session preparation with the staff. I did all the training session review with the staff. I watched all the training session feed live, so I was able to see. And in these 6 days, I also had meetings with every players. We had lines meetings on tactically going through video. So I did a lot. Of course, I didn't the execution part on the field, but the execution part, I also had my staff. So let's say if we do a little math, let's say Rico, Mike, Youssef were 100%. I were at 60%, so 100 plus 60 goes 360, so we were 90%. So that's 90% is not that bad, because most of the time the 10% is the mistake that we do, so maybe we avoided that.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Trevor, and thank you very much, Vanni. We'll be in touch. If you guys have any other requests, let us know.
Okay, see you guys probably, if you come to San Diego, see you guys in San Diego. If not, see you guys virtually again.